So, what you actually care about. Did you know that Reset Era was sold for $4.5 million? No, if someone offered you $4.5 million for Forum, would you sell it? Please answer this question today on stream. That's a hard question. My position on selling the Forum would be that I need enough money from that one transaction to justify it, because I can't ever work again. You know what I mean? So it's like, okay, $4.5 million, is that enough money to tide me over? Is that enough money to tide me and a family over for the rest of my life? You know what I mean? You'll be set for life, but like with inflation and everything, like, let's see. Let's be generous and say I'll live to be 80, and you divide that by, you minus 28 from that, because that's how old I am, I think. 52. You times that by 40,000. Is that what the average American makes? So that's about $2 million. So that's, okay. That's $2 million if you work till 80. So I guess $4.5 million would cover that. But then it's like that money isn't really going to grow with inflation unless you invest it wisely. 4.5 is like probably the bare minimum that I could accept. Because I can't work ever again. You know what I mean? So it's a difficult position. But and it's like, well, you know, that's a really tough one. Yeah, like that's the low end of what I would want for it. And it might say like, oh, you think the forum's worth $4.5 million? You're fucking delusional. It's not that I think the forum is worth $4.5 million. It doesn't matter what it's worth. You know, and it's more just that if I get rid of this asset that I have, I better be able to not have to worry about money again. You know, it's very little to do with what I think it's worth. It's more about what I need it to be worth in order to sell it all. What about $6 million? Ooh, $6 million. That's a lot. I don't think anyone's going to offer $6 million. Someone might offer $1 million, but that's the highest. ETFs have a return of 10% PA. Invest $2 million. That's $200 a year reinvest. I mean, I could just buy property. You know what I mean? I could just buy a bunch of houses and shit. I could invest it in anything. I could invest it in Prednostrovia. I'd probably make a little bit of money back. But so let me read the post from Cerium. By the way, this guy made 700, according to the press release from the company, which is based in Sweden. Cerium says that he made, when selling it, he told the company that he had made $700,000 in the last 12 months, which just goes to show you, by the way, that if I could run ads on the Kiwi Farms, I would make a lot of money. I would probably, generously, I would say, like, or conservatively, I would say that if I could run ads on the top of threads, I could probably make about $10,000 a month just from that. Because I know how much money I made with much less traffic, and if I just scale that up linearly, $10,000 is probably where it would be at. So Reset Era, NeoGaf, whatever the fuck, is a much larger forum, and he has other means of monetization. But just running AdSense on these threads would be a lot of money. I'm not running porn ads on the site, and I can't run Google AdSense because they ban our domain. So I really can't. I don't have any issue with ads, and I think if people want to block ads, that's fine. But it's just not an option to me. I did a crypto miner once, and it made a lot of money. Crimeware. No, I don't want to put sketchy, because most of the traffic that the forum has is from work. It's like we lose traffic over the weekend. That's weird. Most places gain traffic over the weekend because people are off. So I really think that almost everybody who uses the forum actually does so at work. In fact, there's probably people listening to this who are at work right now. Because I've been told by a lot of people they listen to me at work. So it's just like a way that they burn through their fucking wagey hours, is reading about fat people and shit. Keep my voice down. Okay, Sirium says, hello, everyone. We've come to our 4th anniversary. God, it's been 4 months since the fucking NeoGAF canceling. Someone in chat remind me what the NeoGAF got canceled for. Did they say something? Did they say the N-word or something? This is my job. You're my minder. We're coming up on our fourth anniversary this month, and I almost can't believe it's been that long. It feels that we got started yesterday. It feels like we've been doing this forever. 2 years ago, I stepped down as general manager, and I have tried to leave the day-to-day management of the site to the staff as much as possible, but I've been doing what I can to help to ensure the technical and logistical needs of the site were being met. The pressure of being the sole owner of Reset Era has always remained, however, and personal health concerns have made it increasingly difficult to shoulder that on my own. I've wrestled with this decision for a long time now, but I'll be honest with myself, I don't know if I'll be able to do this forever. The right thing to do is to find a responsible buyer for the site. Reset Era has a new owner, which is the Moba network, which is based in Sweden. They have a good track record according to him. The staff will retain total independence when it comes to moderation and day-to-day management of the site. That independence will be held as absolutely sacred in the same way that editorial independence is treated as journalistic publications. It's very interesting reading like the flip side of the Kiwi Farms. Here we have a guy who is like extremely left-leaning, very politically correct, and he has to be minded of things that are completely alien to me, and I can see it in the way that he writes. So the first off, he has to clear up why he's doing this. Money is bad because his users are like, he can't jeopardize the deal by pissing off his community, right? So he can't just say, fuck y'all, got mine. He has to gently break the news so that there's no issues with the deal going forward. It has to retain, because really what he's selling there is the people who use the site and their attention. So that's the value, and he has to retain as many users as possible. So the first thing he tackles here is the pressure is high and I have personal health concerns. Well, that's a great, that is something that he probably paid someone to come up with, because that is a perfect excuse. Because number one, his communities, the rules of their religion do not allow them to ask what specifically. Like with Jim says on Patreon, I have health issues. Like everyone's like, what do you fucking got? You got fucking cancer? You got fucking AIDS? Like, this sounds like bullshit. This sounds like a cop-out, and people get into his business. But for their community, he says health concerns, well, it's none of their fucking business, and anyone who would dare ask what the health concern is violating the tenets of the faith. So that's a great excuse, and it excuses him from selling it. So he says after months of deliberation and negotiation, it has a new owner. Picking a company based in Sweden is a good idea because they're in the EU, and the EU is worshipped by the cult. And then he says that nothing changes. So actually, when he pitches this to Moba Network, he's saying that the staff are basically a part of the deal. He says that I've set this up so that it manages itself. It's passive income. I place the ads, I have user upgrades, but then I have these Jannies who do all the work for me, and they're not paid. The only thing that they want is power and responsibility, because they collect benefits and they need that in their life somehow. So they manage it for me completely fine. It's entirely bureaucratic. They don't get paid, and you will inherit them, and it's a win-win. Moba Network doesn't have to worry about hiring staff for this property, and the community has the sense of familiarity right off the bat. Yeah, the owners changed, but what did Sirium even do? Nothing, apparently. It's all the Jannies, and the Jannies are coming with. So he doesn't have to worry about that. That sweetens the deal for everybody. And as far as the business side is concerned, they don't have to pay for anything. And then he also very intelligently says the independence will be held as absolutely sacred in the same way that editorial independence is treated at journalistic publications. That's like an appeal to authority. Like, they will be in control the same as they always have. And then he says, it's like with newspapers, those things that you trust so much. And everyone's like, oh yeah, I understand what that means. It is my honest belief that this arrangement is the best way to secure the future of the site and a future for white children. To give it the kind of safety net that I can't on my own without sacrificing anything that makes the site what it is. My time as the owner of Reset Era has been one of the greatest honors of my life. I would never give it up without knowing that it will be in good hands. I know that there will probably be a lot of questions about this, so I'm just going to try and answer as many of the big ones as possible. What will change here? Not much. Covered that. What benefits will this have for the site? And then he just says that it'll be better. It'll have more server. Great. Why did Moba Network want to buy Reset Era? We fit their user-driven approach. They're not a journalistic network. They're not a game publisher. There aren't a whole lot of popular gaming sites out there which suit them. They like Reset Era and they believe in it. At the end of the day, it's an investment. So basically, he's just saying that why did Moba Network want to buy Reset Era? It's because of the users, and he hints at this, but he doesn't explicitly say it. There's not a lot of gaming sites out there which suit them, which means safe. Why is Reset Era safe? Because it's like the most PC gaming website in the world, and you can there are no gamer words here. There are only like dick girls and racially sensitive people. Like these are the ideal consumer. They police themselves. They hold to the ideology, which is ad safe. It's friendly for the purposes of profit, basically. Are the staff getting paid? Oh no, I'm sweating bullets over here. I don't want those kinds of questions. The people who have been handling paid work, such as the tech teams, will be making their own arrangements with Moba Network to continue doing what they do. Moderators are still volunteers. Ooh, where's my broom emoji? Hold up, I'm finding my broom emoji. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Okay, I'm gonna pin that. So the people who actually do like technical work will get paid, but everybody else, they're doing it for free, and they're gonna be fucking happy to do it. What is happening? Why is this happening now? In a couple weeks, we'll be celebrating our 4th anniversary as a site, and that seemed like a good window to aim for. Deals like this take a long time to come together, so the process began months ago. Ooh, that's great. 4 years is also about the window for a specific cycle. In the tech world, when it comes to startups, there's this window of like, you make a startup, you get the product going, you establish a consumer base, and then you sell it. And that's about 4 years. If you're into tech startups, you got about 4 years to get your idea off the ground, get it going, and to find a buyer. Because now he's got $4.5 million. He can retire with that, right? Or he can use that money to invest in his next startup and make another $1 million a year, right? So that's about perfect for that startup cycle window. Is Moba Network going to try and force us to interact with their other sites at all? They say no. There have been many sites and none of them have been forced to influence each other in any way. They have a good track record of preserving the independence and separation of sites they acquire. Their other sites will have no bearing on us and we will have no bearing on them. Why is this being announced at this hour? We needed to wait for Moba Network to formally disclose the purpose, which meant waiting until the start of the business day in Sweden. This was the earliest possible time that it could be announced. Will my personal account data be safe? Yes, they say. Oh, some posts. Let's read this. Honestly, reading this whole deal made me realize how inherently selfish most people are. Couldn't some of the money been doled out to mods? No. Frantically Googling how to migrate a forum community. It won't do shit. Seems like a lot of the moderation team were unaware as to how profitable a venture the website was and therefore saw doing the work pro bono as a necessity. Either way, these people did the work for a community they care about and will get a whole $0 out of it. While one guy that barely does anything other than own the website walks away with millions of dollars. $0. They're like, I love how shocked they are. Like the admin made a bunch of fucking money, and they're like, "Oh my god, we're fucking idiots." It's like with the Twitch thing. Like, how many of those people do you think giving money to people like Hassan are like, wait a second, you said that you needed this for your grandmother's surgery and diabetes medication. Why are you making $700,000 a month, Hassan? That's not what you said this money was for. Boy, if I was a mod, I'd be pretty pissed right now. And the great thing is, he doesn't have to care. He doesn't have to care. This guy doesn't have to give a fuck. He never has to deal with these fucking retards ever again. He can go to his balcony off his penthouse in New York and scream the N-word to his heart's content, and there's nothing any of them can do. People gotta stop asking Sirium to pay the mods. He already left the building with briefcases full of money. He didn't give a fuck before, and he definitely will not give a fuck about the site now. LMAO. Fucking based. That is fucking great. You get what you asked for, and those Jannies asked for nothing. I feel like if I had like a lot of money coming in and I could afford to, I probably would pay the good mods. The good mods. The mods that have been there for like years and actually do, because there are Jannies that work for the site, but who help maintain it. And they put in, they're in the background. You don't even notice them. Those are the best kinds of mods that just do shit and you don't even notice them. Don't hold me to that though.